Is there any part of you that, even though it was years before, that kind of blames the feds? Because I feel like that kind of case literally takes years off your life. The stress.
I hope not. I don't want to go earlier.
Right.
But the reality is stress is probably the number one killer. They don't, I don't think people address stress enough, doctors like from that field, to address what stress really does on a body. You know, mentally, like the stress when you're stressing over anything, like I can't pay my bill. That has a health effect on you. It's like, and I don't think they kind of tell that story good enough.
Yeah, because it's harder to quantify stress.
Yes, it's hard to measure, quantify. You know? Exactly right. You can't measure it, but it's embedded inside of that equation of your health. And so when you say that, yes, we were stressed over the trial, but I don't think we could have been more relaxed and stressed at the same time. I think we handled it and dealt with it in the best way possible. I mean, at the highest level, let's say. For me personally, there was only a couple days inside of the trial that I was really like, oh shit. Other than that, it was I dealt with it. And one of the days when they asked for the description of the charges of conspiracy, we're conspiring right now. Like conspiracy is the worst. Right. And it's like, what the fuck? And the jurors asked to explain that. So I was like, oh shit, they're going to try and hang me up on a fucking conspiracy. Because if they go by the order of the charges. Now, mind you, we had 20 plus charges. We got them down to only 2. Right. Money laundering and conspiracy money laundering. So in order to go to the second charge, they had to give an answer for the first charge. So we had to be not guilty. So I knew I'm not guilty for that, but they're sending in the note out to explain conspiracy, like they want to hang us on that. And I went crazy in the courtroom for maybe about 45 minutes. You know, my lawyer, Jerry Shargell, he got me to calm down. And I just went and talked to God for like 45 minutes. And I knew God didn't want to, that wasn't the plan for him.
When Irv passes, you know, anyone who passes, this thing happens on social media and everything where there's just a giant collective conversation, reckoning, et cetera, about them. Were you in any way tuned into any of that, or did you kind of take a step back and just not want to engage with anything going on?
My phone wasn't on. I wasn't even paying attention for about 2 weeks. You know, when I tried to reach out to everyone that wished me well and everything afterwards, if I missed anyone, I'm sorry, but I wasn't in it. You know, I know they understand. But I did try to respond to everybody. I mean, thousands of responses. It literally took me days of responding to that many people.
I can't even imagine,
yeah. The outpouring of love for my brother and myself was through the roof.
Yeah.
And I tried to respond to everybody. So it was really big, and tried to explain this to his kids because for them it's incredibly terrible. But like I told them, I said, that's your dad, that's my brother. You know? And it's not just a regular brother. Like I literally did everything for Irv.
A lot of people have a brother or a sister that they grow up with and then they barely see him after that. And you guys were together.
And I did everything. Constantly. Everything you could think of that might have been asked for, I did it for Irv. Like even when you talk about the trial, like when I go through that, I said, you know, the trial's not even about me. It's not my money. It's his money. It's nothing about the trial that's about me, except for I ran the company. So I signed every check. Everything went through me, through his okay. You understand what I mean? And that's it. Everyone, I'm my brother's keeper. That's it. You know, that's the reality. And I had no issues with that. But people never bring it up because they think I was involved with all decisions was Irv's decisions. All money was Irv's money. And if I'm not involved in that, meaning if I wasn't part of that, I don't know if Irv could win because I had retained all the information needed to give to the lawyer. See, Irv was making music. His mind isn't here. So that's when the beauty or the power of your brother or your partner that's really attentive to these things paid off. you know. But if you go through the trial, no one could even argue the fact that you go through the trial, the whole time is about me. The questioning, the lawyer, the defense, the prosecutors, they're pressing on me of what I did, not what Irv did. But the reality is anything I did was for Irv, you know, anything. It was, is that what you're doing, Irv? Is that what you're doing? That's what you want? You want me to do this here? And that's how when they say families can't work together, if you don't move in that capacity, there's no way we could have worked together. He would be mad. He would think something's wrong. Well, you know, what are you doing that for? Why are you doing it? I never looked at it that way for me personally.
Right.
I made sure he was good.
Last question, possibly.
Sure.
How did that change how you want to spend the rest of your life?
Me personally?
Seeing how short this can be and how unexpectedly it could come to an end.
Well, you know, I learned the most from my dad. When he passed, he had diabetes. He beat diabetes and then ended up with cancer. He passed from pneumonia, which was created from lung cancer. So no one really dies from cancer. You die from chemo. I did so much research on this, you can't even believe. Like, you don't die from cancer. You die from everything that was done to you that treated the cancer, that killed you. There's nothing on the death certificate you're going to see that said the cause of death. If they tell you what it is, they won't say cancer. They'll tell you what happened. It's crazy. So I did all this research for this. So I learned so much in this space. So when it happened to Irv, I was very aware of things and had a lot of knowledge, and I would tell Irv. But for me personally, I'm a knock on wood. I'm just trying to live healthy as possible because quality of life is everything. So Irv's last, let's say, year and a half was bad quality of life. Once he lost his toe and his leg was swollen, dealing with that, then stroke, and then gets back, and then another stroke. And you know what I mean? Bad quality of life. My dad, probably 2.5 years of bad quality of life. So for me, when I watch my mother's 91, Nini's holding up, you know what I'm saying? I look at that and I'm like, I don't want to have a bad quality of life. If possible, if I could avoid it. So I do a lot of fasting. I do a lot of fruit. I eat a ton of fruit.
What's the longest fast you ever done?
14 days.
14, holy shit.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
And what was that like? What kind of person were you by the end of it?
I promise you, if you
still working?
If anyone that has ever fasted is spiritual, number one, and you felt the best you ever will feel. Yeah. And it was just a water fast for 2 weeks. I fast 3 days at a time now. Whenever I feel I cheat, you know, eating bad or whatever, I'll go fast for 3 days. No problem, no pressure. I lost my appetite. It's crazy. I don't crave food anymore. I could be around anything and I could easily not eat it. And, you know, your body changes, and I'm a true believer in fasting.
I did 24 hours the other day for a colonoscopy, actually. And I felt like a weird sense of clarity. Everything just felt, I don't know. I felt balanced and even keeled in a way that I don't normally feel. And
everyone gets afraid of it. And I'm like, just do a day, intermittent fast. I do that all the time where I'll eat one meal a day. Right. And that's it. So that's basically my everyday, one meal a day, which is intermittent fasting technically, because you're basically 23 hours of not eating. Yeah. And I just live that way. I just do it. I have no more cravings. And that was the biggest thing I noticed, that, you know, I'm a sweet tooth guy. I crave that.
That's a bad thing.
Yeah, it's a bad thing, but, you know, no more craving for it.
Really?
No more craving for it. You know, you have those aromas. You know, my father was Trinidadian Filipino. My mother's black. My mother would cook all of these types of dishes, Trinidadian stuff, Filipino stuff, and the aromas, the smell. No more. It doesn't bother me no more.
Well, they say Ozempic is good for that as well.
Well, Ozempic will kill you, though. Do the research. It's bad. It's not good for you. Yeah. It's not good for you. All you Ozempics, because you're too lazy to lose your weight and be disciplined, it's going to kill you. Yeah. They're going to make a ton of money with it because everyone's running to it. So Ozempic is really bad for you. Yeah, yeah. Like, I'm telling you, I'm a doctor without being a doctor. I deal with a lot of holistic stuff, though. Right. I'm a lawyer without being a lawyer. You know, I studied all of those things, and it was because of just really the businesses and making sure I know what I'm doing, and you know. making sure we're on the right path for things. But again, before we get off, I just want to shout out my cast, my partners, Rich Black and Andy and Trotter for Ballin makes up Arc Films. So it's Andy, Rich, and Chris. That's Arc Films. And go watch it if you get a chance. Go watch it on Tubi. It's amazing.
Hell yeah. No, I definitely got to watch it. I was gonna check it out this weekend, but Toronto stuff was just out of control, so I didn't get a chance to, but I'm definitely gonna check that out. Chris, thank you so much for your time. Honestly,
appreciate it.
Always wanted to meet your brother, and always just was kind of fascinated by everything Murder Inc. related and everything. So it was great to get to talk to you.
I'll tell you a story off here.
Sure.
You just met Irv, though. That's what I would tell everybody, because everyone wanted to meet Irv, and my job was to keep him off of Irv.
Really?
Not now. In the heyday of building, if back then, and I'm talking about every street guy, everybody pressed you to get to Irv. It's crazy.
If you haven't tried Everything 420 yet, you are missing out. From grinders and rigs to edibles and shrooms, they've got the biggest selection I've ever seen. It's like Amazon, but for smoking gear. Everything ships straight from Dallas, quick and discreet. Check them out. They've always got promos running, and use code NOJUMPER to save even more.